I don't think there is a best way. I just think that it's everybody's choice and no one can tell you what to do.
I think, sex before marriage is fine.
I think it's your actually choice, and I think it's all depends on your relationship. And
Sex before marriage is taken as fornication, which is
Sex before marriage, na problem, oh, na problem. Starting. Hello, friends.
Hi,
How you doing?
good, good. How are
Yes,
you?
today I just want to know your opinion. What do you think about this topic? Sex before marriage or sex after marriage? Which one is the best way?
I don't think there is a best way. I just think that it's everybody's choice and no one can tell you what to do. I think it's your personal responsibility and the way you feel.
Yeah, many people think like what the Bible says is sex is meant for marriage people, but nowadays is not the case. Everybody is just like doing it anyhow they want. So is that the proper way? If going to the biblical understanding, is it proper? What you are doing, is it right or is wrong? Is wrong?
I think you have to decide what is right for you and what is wrong for you. I mean, if you are religious person, then again it's your choice to be a religious person and do what is proper
Your religion?
by your religion, right?
Okay.
But at the end of the day, I think everybody decide for themselves.
Okay. Oh, nice, perfectly. Yes, it's my pleasure to have you. Thank you for coming, and I wish you a blessed day.
Thank you.
What is
Same
that your
to
name
you.
again?
Katerina.
Catherine.
Katerina.
It's my pleasure.
What is your name?
I'm Charles.
Charles?
Yes.
Okay, nice to meet you, Charles.
My pleasure. Thank you very much.
You're
Yes, good day, sir.
Good day.
I'm Charles. Are you?
Charles,
Yeah.
Roger.
Roger. Yes, it's my pleasure to have you this afternoon. So, in today's video, I want us to look at this question: is sex before marriage or sex after marriage? Which way do you think is the proper way? Is the best way?
I think, sex before marriage is fine. From 14 years of age, we become sexually active, and it's a natural path, of exploring your body and growing. And I think, by the time you get to your teenage years, 17, 18, 19, it becomes quite mysterious, sex. Where I come from, and I was born in New Zealand and Australia, we are quite liberal about sex before marriage. There's no social connotations against this, and most young people engage actively in sex before marriage. Plus, people are becoming married later and later in life now, through economic circumstances and individualism, world opportunities. People are putting careers first before marriage. And a lot of people don't get married. A lot of people, live quite comfortably in relationships. So I think sex before marriage is fine. That's my opinion.
Okay. Yeah. In that aspect, are you a Christian?
No,
You're not a Christian.
I'm an atheist.
Okay. All right. Thank you for your response and for your input. I hope this video will help somebody to learn what you have said. Have a pleasant day.
You too, Charles.
God bless you.
You too.
Hi.
hello,
Happy Sunday. How are you doing today?
thank you. I'm okay.
I'm Charles, and you?
Anastasia.
Anastasia. So Anastasia, it's my pleasure. We are in morality side today. I want just to sound your opinion to know what do you think about is sex before marriage or sex after marriage the proper way? Which one is the proper way?
I think it's your actually choice, and I think it's all depends on your relationship, and it's depends on, about your partner. And if you have some relationship, but you realize that you want to have a sex with each other, why not?
Okay, like we Christians, or are you a Christian?
Yep.
Yes, like we are Christians. Like the Bible says, sex is meant for marriage people. So what would you tell those people they start doing the thing without they are not yet married? So what word do you have for such people?
I think that if your religion tell you to do
That's your opinion.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for coming, Anastasia. May you have a nice day and enjoy yourself.
Thank you.
God bless you. All right. Doctor, my sister just get belle. We no get husband for marriage. Now problem for me now. Now I want to talk about this issue. Sex before marriage. If I know it bad. Because me I don't tire. I don't tire. Sex before marriage, I don't tire. You don't go bring wahala. I mean just tell them wetin they supposed to hear. I call him Tieroba, medical doctor, by name Dr. Anthony. Dr. Anthony, you are welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, Charles.
Yes, Dr. Anthony, today I want us to reflect over this topic. Sex before marriage or sex after marriage. Which one do you prefer? And which one do you think that is the best in our society?
Sex after marriage is the best option, of course, because the sex before marriage is taken as fornication, which is breaking the sixth commandment. Right? Sixth commandment, yeah. So, and sex before marriage most times it leads to a lot of promiscuity among. Okay, most times it's usually among young people, and it's a problem because it leads to uh, it's a sin of the flesh, so it leads to impurity and so many other things that follow. And most times, sex before marriage could be lost in the sense that maybe the two people don't just love each other, because sex before marriage, maybe two people are in a relationship, they love each other fine and they have sex, but two people may not love each other. Maybe you can even buy sex like from prostitutes and
Yeah.
have and do it, and so that's why it's encouraged that young people should not try as much as possible not to engage in sex before marriage, because it changes orientation and things like that, and it's good to be kept to keep yourself pure. But sex after marriage is is not a duty. I won't call it an obligation, but sex after marriage is and actually one of the main reasons for sex was for procreation. So most times, sex before marriage, those adults who do this tend to use they do it just for fun. Some people say it's just for fun, let's just do it. But it's taken that sex is supposed to provoke some sort of intimacy amongst the couples or amongst these two individuals. So that's why after marriage it's used when a husband and wife want to procreate and make new babies, and to help with the, according to God's commandments, go in the world and multiply. So that's just the way I see it. But sex after marriage is the best option.
Yes, Dr. Anthony, thank you for that intervention. Yes, given the fact that we are living in a modern era and you see that people actually doubt the kind of it might be partner to go into relationship or to say I want to settle down with this person and you don't know the person. People give excuses that before I go to marry somebody that I don't know, at least I must know the person's strength and whatever in terms of sexual activities and all the like, so that tomorrow it should not become a problem in their marital home and whatever. So what do you think about in that regard can be the solution to that aspect?
Um, okay. To determine compatibility among couples, I know we have, even in medicine, you have to be compatible genetically, emotionally, psychologically, and sexually as well. Because if one person has a higher sex drive, or if one person is
It's lacking. Yeah.
yeah, it's lacking, but you won't say, okay, because someone has not had sex the whole life and maybe the person is a virgin, okay, and then he gets married and maybe one partner starts to complain that it's not good. I mean, if the one partner has been doing this, he or she, depending on whomever is the more experienced, is there to teach the other one and try to, because that's where it comes. That's when we have dating. When you date, the dating is not just for the sex. You need to try to understand and learn each other. You need to be able to talk and communicate, because when you communicate with each other, you don't even need to have the sex to understand. You can communicate with this person. What kind of things do you like? How do you like to be, kissed and touched, things like that. These are things that you can communicate, and then as you get married, as you prepare to get married, or when you not get married, you now start to put it into action, and gradually, because it's a gradual process, it's step by step. You don't just expect the person to just be, I don't know, to know everything
Yeah, yeah.
from the start. So
Actually, that is just the difficult part of it. Like a Christian, they used to tell us, being carrying somebody or my somebody like who has a weakness, you should take it as part of your cross. But some people have tried to practice this aspect of marriage before sex, but it's not going, and many people are falling into it. They have to follow maybe the guy is threatening the girl. If I did not have sex with you before marriage, then I will not get married and whatever. And a lot of things have been going on like that. And many things, you as a Christian, what do you think is the best way? What should the person do if you find yourself in this kind of tight corner or in this kind of situation that somebody is threatening you that until I have sex with you before I can think of proposing or to think about marriage or whatever? What do you think is the
I don't think that is love. I just think it's manipulation. You don't need to threat is sorry. Sex is not something that should be coerced or threatened. If you threaten the person could do it. Just okay. What if the man? Okay, let's say in the instance the man, the girl is a virgin and you threaten her. How do you expect her to feel when at her first time? She will always remember that the first time was because you threatened her. So it's not something. It's something that should be done out of free will, out of the fact that no one should be coerced or threatened to have sex with anyone, even if it's because of the marriage. Fine. Okay, if you so does that not mean that the only reason you're marrying this girl or the reason you're marrying this guy is because of sex? If you put it that way, then that would look like it's the only reason to do that. Because as you're getting ready to get married, there are a lot of things that you need to get ready for. So you may not even think of sex at that time. It may now have to come as an afterthought, maybe later. But for me, coercion is wrong, and coercion is absolutely wrong, because when you do it, you put the person who is being coerced, no, the person who is coercing will now put himself like he is in charge, and the person who is being coerced now feels like the victim. And we all know that when you do something you don't want to do at all, when you do something not from your own free will, you don't always do that thing perfectly. So
exactly, yeah. Yes, doctor, we as Christians,
yeah.
we as youth, the deal has been done. The same thing we have been doing over and over. What word do you have for the youth about this sex before marriage? We just do our own way, the way we like it, the way it pleases us. We are forgetting the side that God has said marriage is the best way, and sex is only meant for marriage people. It's not for any kind of person. And we are not yet into that life, and we are enjoying sex. So what word do you have for the youth in regards to this topic?
Well, abstain as much as you can, because okay, when we now talk about sex, okay, now when you now start to having, that's why in marriage, because in marriage you have sex with only one person. But as single people, as younger people, most times you tend to have multiple partners. When you have multiple partners, the risk of contracting an STI or STD increases. The risk of having unwanted pregnancies, which may lead to abortions, some may lead to marriage, but most of the time it may lead to abortions, and some abortions can lead to death. So you find out that all these things are chain of events. If you abstained initially, you won't have to think of aborting or doing any other thing just to conceal it. Because if it was after marriage, of course, you can have the baby, you're married. Otherwise, if it's couples who didn't plan to have babies, then this is a different topic altogether. So try as well to abstain. It is difficult. I will not say it's easy, of course. It's difficult. We're all human. We all have hormones and feelings, and sometimes you're put in situations where you need the grace of God to say no. But you need to try as much as possible to abstain, because the second reading of today, taken from second letter of St. Paul to the Corinthians, talking about if you live in the flesh, you will die. But if you live in the spirit, by starving the flesh, you will live. So try as much as possible to abstain. Some people say, okay, I won't do it until I'm 18. When you get to 18, maybe change it to 19. just like that, then try as much as possible to just abstain. And if, well, this is not going to go down well with some people, but even if you must, try as much as possible to, I don't know, have it with one person or just abstain. For me, I think abstinence is the best option.
Yeah, I think abstinence is the best option. Like, this topic we are trying to to correct some ills in our society, because we see it has become a routine in our society where boys and girls take it as normal life. Understand? They just begin to do those things. They think that is just their right. But the aim of this channel is to correct the ills, to let people know the impression, what is right and what is wrong. Sex before marriage is evil. Sex after marriage, that is the right thing we have to do. So let us try to put the right things in order. So thank you, doctor. What last word do you have for this channel? What last word do you have for this channel?
I would like everyone to keep watching this channel and support Charles' good work. And he's doing his best to, as his name is called Morality Site, so to encourage us to be more moral, to improve our morality. So let's keep watching, keep subscribing, and keep doing good always.
Yes, thank you, dear friends. Thank you, dear viewers.
Thank you.
We have come to the end of this interview. Thank you very much. You are
Thank you,
welcome to
Charles.
this channel. God bless you. Have a
God bless you
blessed
too.
day.
You